Explosive rotational power workout. At home, we're going to give you the reps. I want you to follow along with Lindsay. Just watch Lindsay for your cadence and your timing. I'll give you all the coaching points and help you through this workout. Lindsay, let's get started. Deep squat presses. Take the medicine ball nice and deep between your legs, pull it to your chest and press it up overhead and back down. Now at home, when you're doing this, I want you to get nice and deep, clear your hips, and on the way up, the ball should touch your chest on the way up, press it up as high as you can. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your abs, and make sure you're getting a deep stretch at the bottom. Good, we're doing 12 reps here. This is just part of the warm-up. In the warm-up, we're trying to do as many exercises that you're going to see later in your workout, but we're going to just do it at a nice, easy tempo here so we can master it later when we add some speed and resistance. Good. Now, after 12 reps, we're going to go like this. Take your medicine ball, put it at your chest, and lift your elbows up as high as you can. By doing that, your scapula, your shoulder blades get stuck together, gives you really good posture. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do some body turns and pivot in both directions. We want proper sequencing here. I need that lower body to lead the charge. The lower body has to move first, shoulders second. That's proper sequencing. It's going to help you create more power. Keep your elbows up. We want those scapulas stabilized. You also want to make sure that all your weight gets transferred onto the lead leg in both directions. I don't want you kind of hanging back. Get all your weight pressed up over top of the leg. Beautiful. And we're doing 12 reps. Good. Okay, so now I want you to stand on your left leg. You're going to put the ball in your right hand. These are called rainbow passes. Press the ball up over your head as high as you can and bring it back down. Now, this exercise here, we're really working on leg stability. This whole left side is stable. The ball being passed up overhead is causing her center of gravity to be shifted left and right. So this leg has to try and adjust and stabilize. Fantastic. Keep going. So this is working on your balance, stability, and it's also opening up those shoulders and getting them warmed up. After 8 reps, we're going to stand on that left leg. We're going to drop down into a side lunge, nice and deep, and then press up. Same idea, nice and stable at the top. Get nice and tall. Now, if you're starting to lose a little bit of stability, tighten up that left glute. As soon as you post up on it, squeeze the glute and stay nice and tall. Stretch out that hip flexor and press. 8 reps. That looks good. Excellent. Now, after those 8 reps, we're just going to go back to the rainbow pass, other legs. We're going to stand on our right leg, all our weight's on our right leg, press it up overhead. Nice and balanced. Now here, I want you to keep your elbows wide. You should feel like there's a pane of glass in front of your body and behind your body, and you're keeping your elbows in between those panes of glass. That's again going to get your scapula retracted and stabilized. This exercise is fantastic for your posture because it really opens up the chest, gets the back muscles working, and it also helps out with that stability of your right side. That's going to come into play later in our workout. 8 reps. Fantastic. We haven't even started the workout yet. That's just a bit of the warm-up. So now you got to go and get your dowel, go and get your bench, and let's continue with the workout. You got your bench, you got your dowel, let's get down on one knee. This is called half kneeling position. We're going to do a hip flexor stretch. Just reach up as high as you can. Now push your hip forward. So I want your right hip pushed forward. Squeeze the glute as hard as you can. You're going to feel a nice stretch across the front of your quad. Now reach up as high as you can and point your thumb to the ceiling. Reach up, point your thumb to the ceiling. For the pelvic powerhouse, if we want the glutes to get activated, we have to stretch out the antagonist or the opposite muscle. So my hip flexor here is the opposite muscle to my glute. That has to get stretched so this can fire properly. Let's add some rotation. Up and rotate. Turn your shoulders towards me. So as we do this, some of you might feel a little instability in the lower body. Just feel nice and tall, squeeze the right glute, reach that thumb to the ceiling, and turn your shoulders. 3 reps. Good. Let's switch up our knees. Again, first things first, push that hip forward. That's it. That glute is activated now. Now we want to stretch it out. If you think about it, this whole left side is all getting lengthened. right from my toe, across the knee, across my quads, hip flexor, abs, and I'm reaching up as high as I can and stretching that whole left side out. This is really going to help us when we start to do deadlifts and kettlebell snatches and all that. It's really going to help activate the glute and stretch out that front side. Now let's get it with rotation. As she stretches and rotates, her sling from her left hip to her right shoulder is being lengthened and stretched. The obliques, all the muscles that we use for rotation, are getting stretched and prepared for our explosive rotational power workout. All right, let's get up off of there. This is what I call the lunge matrix. You got to be really good and functional in your lunge before you do this, but it's basically a lunge with rotation. Let's start you out left leg forward first. So all we're doing is we're going straight forward, out to 45 degrees, and out laterally. But the key here is that you're churning your shoulders. The shoulders have to turn while the lower body's staying stable. This is how segmental stabilization works. Her lower body's stable, her upper body's rotating. And what I want you to do is explode back. So lunge out, explode back, lunge out, explode back, lunge out, explode back. Let's switch up those legs. We got 8 reps per side. Good. See how quick she's jabbing out and jabbing back. Jabbing out and jabbing back. That means her abs are decelerating, accelerating, decelerating, accelerating, just like they're going to do in your sport. It doesn't matter what sport you play. You have to be able to load the muscle and unload it. That's exactly what Lindsay's doing here. You probably feel at home this nice stretch across the abs. That's what we're looking for here. Good. So now we've got the lunge matrix. Our abs are all warmed up. Let's go to big stick swings. This is our sequencing. Remember we talked about the sequencing has to be lower body stable, load with the lower body, then the shoulders, then the arms. Let's see it. Get that lower body active. Beautiful. Good. Do you see how our lower body, the pelvis is moving first, then the shoulders, then the arms? Right into the next one. Coil it up, load it and unload it. Beautiful. Squeeze the glutes and abs at the finish. Good. That looks fantastic. Couple more. Now at home, you want that lower body to stay stable in that loading phase. I don't want your knees and feet rolling. Stay nice and stable. Feel that stretch across the abs and release the hands. We were looking for speed here. If you want power, power is about speed. You have to maximize the speed with good sequencing. All right. So if we're going to get that nice action with the pelvis, we got to make sure that the pelvis moves rotary. Remember the pelvic powerhouse consists of pelvic rotation and pelvic tilt. Let's attack that pelvic rotation. So both hands on top of the dowel. All your weight is going to go on your left leg. And hook your right foot right behind your knee. And then all I want you to do is just pull that right knee across the body. So you see how our left leg is posted. The whole left leg is stable, and the pelvis is actually rotating around that axis. This is why we call it stork turns. Doesn't look like a stork standing in a pond, standing on one leg and rotating your pelvis. This dowel here is just giving you a little bit of stability. If you want to crank it up and you get really good with your balance, you can do it without, just like so. The key here is that we have quality rotary pattern here, that the pelvis is rotating around the left leg. Let's switch legs. Now she's on her right leg. The right leg is stable, and the pelvis is just rotating around that axis again. I want your pelvis to work both ways, so we also have to work both legs. Good. Now let's put that stork turn and that good rotary motion into action. Take the dowel across your chest. What we want to see here is proper sequencing. The pelvis is going to rotate, but the upper body is going to stay stable and still. Pelvis rotates, and then we're going to finish our rotation. Pelvis rotates, finish your rotation. So what you might find at home is that when you have the dowel across your chest, as you move your pelvis, the upper body goes with it. That probably means that you're either lacking stability or you could be lacking mobility. You could be lacking the ability to separate your upper body from your lower body. For here, lower body fires, then the upper body. That's proper sequencing. Fire, fire. Now try doing it all at once. Fire, snap. Good. If you're a right-handed baseball player or you throw with your right hand, just do one side. I just want you to work on the side that you're working. I'm not too bothered about your sequencing going the other way. We do want symmetry, but in this case, we're just working on the actual technique of rotating and exploding. It's time to get out the bench. Lindsay, we're going to come on over here and do some burpees. Burpees. You probably remember them back in high school. They were a pain, but they're also one of my favorite exercises because look at this dynamic stability. Every time she lands, she's landing in a plank. Her core has to stabilize. She's using her legs nice and springy. Fantastic exercise. We're using the bench to make it easier. Some people don't have the mobility to go all the way down to the ground, reach their legs out and all the way back up. So the bench just makes it a little bit easier, but we still get the benefits of segmental stabilization. 12 reps, and then we're going to move on to cross knee drives. So on your 12th rep, I want you to stay down at the bottom. So Lindsay, down at the bottom of your burpee, and hold. From here, nice straight body, scapular stability, glutes are engaged, abs are engaged. Now what I want you to do is take your right knee and drive it across the body to your opposite elbow and back. Other side. Good. So this is the pelvic powerhouse right here. You can see how she's tilting the pelvis and rotating at the same time. But the fact that she's in a push-up position or in a plank, it allows her upper body to stay stable, way easier, and now the lower body can just rotate underneath it. Fantastic exercise for creating good pelvic powerhouse while helping ourselves with a little stability. So we've had 8 reps per side. Now we want to go to our segmental stabilization drill, 1, 2, stick. So it's a little bounding drill, 1, 2, stick. Stand on one leg, bound laterally, and stick. Count it out. 1, 2, stick. 1, 2, stick. Good. When you stick your landing, I want you to stick it, hold, go. 1, 2, stick that landing. Go. 1, 2, stick. Awesome. 1, 2, stick. The 1, 2 stick is such a great exercise for segmental stabilization because as you're bounding laterally, when you have to stick that landing, your glute works as a stabilizer. But then when you go into the bound, it actually works as a mobilizer. It's driving the motion. And that glute has to do both those jobs in any rotary sport. It works as a stabilizer and it works as a powerful driver of the motion. You got your water in you, you're refreshed. Now it's time to get back into the action. One of the best exercises for developing glute power is the deadlift. Let's get those 15s up in the air there, Lindsay. Pick a weight that's appropriate for you. I want you to have perfect form. It's not about how heavy you go, but it's about how good you can hinge your hips and extend. Let's go. Deadlift. Awesome. If you use dumbbells, fantastic. We're going to use 2 dumbbells here. A nice simple deadlift, working the glutes. Your butt clears back, your knees stay right where they are, butt clears, and then you extend up through the hips. "12 reps. Okay, now that we've got that, let's take that pelvic powerhouse, all that energy that we've just gained from our pelvic powerhouse, get the sequencing, and get a one-arm snatch. So same weight, go down into your deadlift, and snatch it up. We're doing 8 a side. You can see, you can use a kettlebell, you can use a dumbbell. It doesn't matter. The movement is what matters, not the resistance. 8 per side, good. You can see how her lower body is driving the weight up. You won't even feel it in your arms. You can actually deadlift or snatch more weight than you can shoulder press because we're lifting the weight with our legs, not with our arm. Let's switch sides. 8 reps on the left side now. Get nice and deep in your deadlift, drive through the hips. You want to feel like the glutes are the driver of the movement. They're your powerhouse here. But the sequencing is lower body, chest drive, arm, and snap it up at the top. The fastest movement of the whole exercise is right when it releases right up at the top. Fantastic. After you finish your 8 reps, we want to get down on the floor, work on some segmental stabilization. So Lindsay, if you can go down here, we put some little pads down here. You can use the carpet at your home or a floor, whatever you want. Make yourself comfortable. But the most important thing here is that we're tall kneeling. That means extension through the hips, nice and tall, reach up as high as you can. Now this is the kicker. This dowel here is going to stay still. And what she's going to do is stabilize and step a leg out. Here we go. We're going to do 12 reps. That's 6 reps per side. Step out. Now, if you're unstable and you lack the stability in your glutes, as you step out, you'll probably find that the dowel is going to bend and twist. We don't want that. We want to stay as stable as possible. Now, again, this is a rotary sport that we're working on. So we're going to add rotation to this. We want glute stability. We're going to step out, and as we step, we're going to rotate using the oblique muscles and turn the shoulders. Step out and rotate. Fantastic. So here, segmental stabilization at its finest. Lower body stable, upper body's rotating. Step and rotate. Now a lot of you are going to do this. The arms are going to rotate, but the shoulders aren't turning. I want the shoulders to rotate over the knee. Shoulder turn, not just the arms. If we want to crank it up even further, if you feel like you're ready to take it to the next level, we can go here. Tall kneeling. Step out, rotation. Step up, and back down. Step out, rotate. Step up, and back down. That's a little advanced, but after you've watched this video a couple of times, you might want to try it. Fantastic. All right, we just finished our step outs. Now it's time for 180 jumps. This is all about sequencing. If your sequence is correct, we're going to drive with the lower body. The lower body is going to initiate rotation. Our upper body is going to follow, and our arms are last. You're going to land, coil up again, and come right back the other direction. Let's go, Lindsay. 12 reps, 180 jumps. Really focus on the loading phase. Do you see how she stabilizes, fires, decel, accelerate, land, fire, load, explode? This is a great opportunity for you to crank it up, get some speed going, and really get your heart rate raised if it's not already. Awesome. Lindsay, why don't you grab one of those dumbbells there? The next one we're going to look at is segmental stabilization exercise, lateral lunge to shoulder press. So stand on your left leg, knee up, that's it. Drop down into your side lunge and press. Fantastic. So this one here is a mix between segmental stabilization and we're also got proper sequencing because she's driving with her legs. Her legs are doing the action and her arm is just pressing up at the end. Here's the thing. Remember when we did the warm-up? We started with these rainbow passes and then we moved to those lateral lunges with presses with the medicine ball. But now we've got resistance. She's really firing with those legs. 8 reps per side. Drive it up. Good. I know you're getting tired. Don't quit now. This is not the time for a coffee break. You need to switch sides, get focused. Form is everything here. Get nice and deep in those lunges. Clear those hips and drive with the legs. That's it, Lindsay. Keep pushing up. Drive with the legs. If your arms are getting tired, it's because you're not using your legs as the driver of the movement. Power with those legs. Drive it up. One more. Fantastic. Whew. Exhausted? I hope so. Take a break. Get a little hydration in you because the next segment is really going to kick it up another notch. You're back from the break. The materials don't change. We've got our bench, medicine ball, dumbbell, and we also have the FMT band. We're going to bring this into play. The first exercise that we're going to do is a vertical jump, but I want you to feel what it's like to only use your lower body. So hands on the hips, vertical jump, we got 8 reps. That's it. You want to talk about sequencing? When we add the upper body, when we add those arms into play, you're going to see how much more powerful you can be with the right sequence in each segment of your body firing. Here we go. Add those arms. Look at that added height. She's getting so much higher. Load those arms. Fire it up as high as you can. Good. 8 reps. Fantastic. That gets the heart rate jacked up. Just take a minute. Take a couple of breaths. And here we go. We're going to go into pelvic rotation. Here you go, Lindsay. So put the band on your left hip. Now just rotate into a circle. So now that band is loaded. Other hand across your chest. Now from here, what we're going to do is we're going to use our pelvis and rotate over our right leg. Good. Pelvic powerhouse. So I want rotation and tuck. When you finish, I want glutes and abs engaged. Good. Feel how that lower body is driving the rotation. We got to get that pelvis as our driver, boom, into this position. 12 reps. Good. See how she's getting all her weight transferred? I don't care what sport you play. We got to get our weight laterally transferred through if we're going to rotate. All our body weight has to go through and get a nice turn. All right, Lindsay, unravel yourself. Now this is great. Switch hands, put it on the other hip. Just keep going. Don't get dizzy on me. There we go. So now we're going to do the other side. What I want you to see from this perspective here. Here we go, Lindsay. Hand across your chest. Go. See how she's getting all her weight? She's loading into her right leg, driving off and transferring all her weight into her left side. Fantastic. You'll also notice if she had a camera on her belt buckle, she'd be taking a picture of me right now. Perfect. That means her belt buckle's rotating all the way around. All her weight's getting transferred. Fantastic. 12 reps. You're going to feel those legs burning now because you just did those big squat jumps, and now we're asking you to rotate. All right, we're not done with rotating, or squats for that matter. Lindsay, here we go. We're going to go into our squat rotations. So we're going to squat down, and the medicine ball is going to end up on the outside of our right knee, and then outside of our left knee. This is like rotational resistive exercise, because as she tries to rotate, the ball is trying to make her fall off of her posture, or lose her posture. And what she has to do is stay as tall as possible, rotate, and her spine has to be vertical. Vertical. Rotate. Good. So after 6 reps of that, now we're going to add rotation to it. So just fire right over the shoulder. Here we go. Over the shoulder. Perfect. Load. Over the shoulder. Good. So again, lower body is driving. We got proper sequencing here. She's still got that pelvic powerhouse. Drive with the pelvis. Good. And all of a sudden that 6-pound medicine ball feels like air. It feels like a feather because her lower body's doing the work. And once we've done 6 reps, we're going to switch to the other side. When you switch sides, if you're a right-hander and you start to rotate to the left, it might feel awkward, but we have to work both sides. Symmetry is the key. If both sides of our body are symmetrical, we're going to be more functional and we're going to resist injuries and any common issues that you might find in your rotary sports. All right, Lindsay, come on over here. Here's where the bench comes into play. We're going to step up with our left leg. Now what I want to emphasize here is that her upper body is stable. Now watch, that dowel doesn't move. It stays stable, so now she can drive that knee. At home, I want you to feel like you're driving that knee, like you're trying to knee somebody in the head. Whack, across the body. Across the body. We've got pelvic tilt, plus we're driving with that leg. That's it. Okay, now just turn around, face the other direction. So now we got right leg. The right leg is driving up, left knee, drive across the body. Again, if you're using a dowel here, the dowel should stay parallel to your pelvis in your setup or perpendicular to the bench. This is great for internal hip rotation of our right hip, and our abs and glutes are firing here, the 2 most powerful muscles in rotary sports. Drive. Good, 8 reps. Fantastic. Last power exercise. Your legs are burnt out, your arms are killing you, but we're going to crank it up 1 more notch. Grab your dumbbell. Here we go. We're going to go down into a squat, and as we come up out of the squat, we're going to rotate and press straight up overhead. Beautiful. This is a culmination of all our exercises. We have sequencing. She's driving with the lower body. We got pelvic powerhouse driving through here. And then once she steps up to the top, look at that segmental stabilization. Every segment of her body, bam, 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 all in sequence, all stable, with the driver being the pelvic powerhouse. That is explosive rotational power. Let's do the other side. That's it. Drive. Use those legs. I know they're getting tired. You're exhausted. Fight through this. Quality reps. Finish strong. Here we go. Those legs are burning. Shoulders are tired. Keep working it. That's it. 8 reps. Give me 1 more. Awesome. Fantastic. Woo! Intensity, intensities. I tell you, that's a workout. Explosive rotational power at its finest. So now we need to calm down. Take a breather. Get out a mat, use your carpet. We're going to get down on the ground and do a little cool down. All right, it's time to cool down. I like to do a thing called Kanoga. It's like yoga, but it's kinetic. It's very dynamic. So here we go, Lindsay. Everyone, stay as stable as you can. Left leg nice and straight, knee into your chest. Hold it up here. Now open up your hip. Feel that nice stretch in the groin. Then we're going to take that same leg across body and stretch this glute on the right side. Now from here, we're going to go into what's called an airplane stance. Working on your balance. Extend your right leg back as far as you can. Nice straight line. Now if you want to crank it up a notch, we're going to do airplane taking corners. You can see I'm working really hard here to stay stable. Back to center. So now we're going to drop down into our hip flexor stretch. I want you to think a left hand into the floor right beside my left foot. My left knee is right up against my left elbow. My pelvis is parallel to the floor, and it's going to stay there throughout this whole exercise. Open up my right side up to the ceiling. Feel that nice stretch through your T-spine. Bring it back down. Open up my left side. Again, nice stable lower body, rotating up through my T-spine and my upper body. Good. Back to the middle. Now we're going to go into a plank position. From here, feet together, hands are underneath my shoulders, and I'm going to drop down into what I call a hover. It's the bottom of a push-up. Down to the bottom and hold. Just hold it there, nice and stable. Now from here, we're going to press back up, but whole body, one piece. Whew. Good. Feet together. We're going to go into a side plank. Nice straight body, looking up at your hand. Bring it back down. Other side, rotate. Looking up at your hand. Nice straight body. Back to your front plank. Now from here, my left foot is going to go right back where it was. Nice and tall through the chest. All one move. This is really cool. Drive your right knee back into your chest, right the way we started. Nice and tall. Extend through the left leg. And bring that leg back down. Whew. That's only halfway there. We got to do the other side. So again, nice and tall. Left knee into the chest. Open up the hip. Right now my right glute is working really hard to stabilize me. Leg across the body. Now back into your airplane stance. Hold. And take a few corners if you're feeling lucky. Back to center. Now we drop back down into that nice hip flexor stretch. My right hand inside of my right foot, right knee against my right elbow. Now we're going to open up our left side. Open up. Your pelvis stays parallel to the floor. And back down. Other side, open it up. Fantastic. You're going to feel that nice rotation through your T-spine. Hand back down. Back to the plank position. Okay, now, if you're tired, follow along with Lindsay, but if you got anything left, anything, pull it out, because we're going to crank this one up one more notch. We're going to drop down to our hover and hold. Let's hold it for 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, I'm going to press up into a side plank with my top leg up in the air. It's like a side plank starfish. This takes incredible balance and glute strength. Back down. I'm going to go back to my hover. You can just stay up top there. If you're tired, just stay in your plank. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Back up. Press. Side plank starfish. Leg comes back down, right back into our plank position. Right foot, right beside my right hand again. Probably feels easier now. We're nice and loose. We're We're going to drive that left knee into our chest again. Stick your landing. Beautiful. That's a tough little circuit to close up on. Now, let's take it right down to the floor. Lindsay, I'm going to get you down in a quadruped position. On all fours. We want to reward your body for all the hard work it's done. So I just want you to sit your hips, your butt right back on your heels. Just feel that nice stretch through the shoulders. You can reach your hands, just crawl your hands across the mat. Feel that nice stretch. We worked our shoulders really hard today, and we need to just stretch out all the musculature of the upper body. And then come back out of it, like nice and tall, and then sit back again. What I also love about this is we're getting a nice little stretch through the hips as well. Stretching out those glutes. We worked hard, our muscles deserve the break. And come back up. Good. Now we're in quadruped position. So I want you to take a neutral spine. What that means is this would be arched, this would be rounded, arched, find neutral. Once we have neutral spine, I want to see this. Don't let your lower back move. I want you to raise your right arm out, thumb up. Now, as you raise your arm up, I don't want to see this break. Left arm. So your core is stable and back down. Right leg. Reach your right leg back behind you. Reach, reach, reach. Don't let this break. Bring it back in. Left leg. Reach. Good. You see how that's different? Bring it back in. Now we're going to challenge you. Left arm, right leg are going to raise up at the same time. Here we go. Reach. Fantastic. Hold. You can see here all the musculature of her back is in an extension, nice and strong and stable. Other leg, right arm, left leg. Fantastic. Reach that leg back. Feel that. Work the glute, shoulders, and bring it back in. Now we're going to take it even further down to the ground. Let's lay you down on your side, facing out. Fantastic. Now, one of the most important muscles that we want to stabilize is our glute medius. This muscle works on lateral pelvic stability, and it's also a huge power creator. I like to fatigue it at the end of the workout. If we did this exercise at the start of the workout, you won't be able to complete the exercise that we need to do because you'd already be fatigued. So, right knee, dive it down towards the mat. Now push that heel up and back, kick, good, and bring it back down. 8 reps. Good, extend. Feel that glute. It feels like you're getting an ice pick right in the side of your butt here. Press it out, kick that heel out. Good. Let's get one more. Awesome. Let's spin you around so you're still facing out. Now, one thing I want you to pay attention to here is I'm cueing Lindsay from behind. You're going to be at home on your own. What I need you to do is really reach that foot back. So let's drive that left knee down and push your heel back as if I'm standing behind you, like you're pushing your heel against a wall. That's it. Push it back. That gets glute max and glute medius both working together. Now, you might feel, when you switch sides, this side might feel more tired. You might think it feels weaker. But in actuality, you're working both sides, left and right, at the same time. Her right leg at the moment is pushing hard into the mat, and this one's pushing her leg up in the air. Core is stable. Push it back. 8 reps. And good. Relax. We did it. We completed the explosive rotational power experiment. I'm sure you can tell by the sweat in your shirt and on the mat that we've accomplished all of our objectives. Our objectives were to create an explosive rotational power workout consisting of all 3 key elements of explosive rotational power: sequencing, the pelvic powerhouse, and segmental stabilization. Thank you for joining us, and see you next time in the lab.
When I wake up in the morning, I take a water bottle, a Gatorade, and I drink all day, meal every time.
I try to have at least 3 glasses of water at pregame meal, and then as soon as I get to the rink, pretty much a cup every 15 minutes, put as much Gatorade as I can get into me before my warm-up.
We find that these players generally lose between 2 to 4 liters of sweat per hour or per practice.
If they become dehydrated, they can develop several symptoms such as headache, nausea, fatigue, and which can ultimately decrease their performance.
You have to hydrate ahead of time, you have to make sure you hydrate during, and then you hydrate after to maintain optimal performance and recovery from the activity.